Hello again. Today we are looking at lesson number 10, still under financial literacy. But today we are looking at cash receipt journals. Remember, lesson number 8 was the accounting cycle with 6 steps. And lesson number 9, it was the accounting equation, okay, with assets is equals to owner's equity plus liabilities. And we've looked at two different ways we can use to complete the effect of the cash transactions on the accounting cycle. Okay, so today we are looking at the cash receipt journal. Remember, cash receipt journal is the journal for the money that goes into the business account of the the bank account of the business. Okay, the bank account of the business. All right, or money received by the business. At the end of this lesson, you must be able to complete the cash receipt journal with the given transactions. So the transactions you will always be given. So we must be able to complete the cash receipt journal. So this time we are going to complete the cash receipt journal. In lesson number 9, we were completing the accounting equation. We have already learned that the services we have already learned that a service business offers a service to consumers or customers. Services businesses sell their knowledge and skills to consumers who want them to perform the service. For example, a plumber, a hairdresser, or gardening services. We learned that there are two types of cash transactions occurring daily in a cash service business, which are payments and receipts. These transactions are recorded in the cash payments journal and the cash receipt journal. Okay. So in this lesson, we are going to discuss only cash receipt journal, which means only the money that is coming into the business. Only cash receipt journal. Okay. So what is the definition of the cash receipt journal? There at the top. Remember, I want you to know all the definitions from term 1 until the end of term 2, because you are going to be examined on that in the June exam. So cash receipt journal, it is the subsidiary journal used for recording all money received by the business. All money received by the business are on the cash receipt journal. And we look at section 2.4.1 in page 75. The concept of a cash receipt journal of a service business. A service business receives money, either coins, banknotes, or checks for services rendered. A business receives money when, number 1, the owner increases their capital contribution. So if the owner puts the capital contribution or their contribution to the business receives money. If the business receives a loan, that's a new one for you. If a business receives the loan, it means the business receives money. If the business receives money from services rendered, which is the current income, the business receives money. Again, the business receives money for rent. The business receives money for interest on investment. Okay, so the business can receive money in 5 different ways. First, it's from the owner. Number 2 is from the loan, if the business receives the loan. Number 2, number 3, from the services rendered. Number 4, from rent. And number 5, from the interest on investment. All the money a business received is deposited into the bank's account. So please know the 5 ways in which a business can receive money. I will personally ask you this question. Not in the exam, but I will ask you this question. So you need to know this. So all the money the business receives is deposited into the bank account daily. Okay, so let's continue with section 2.4.2, the formats and use of columns in the CRJ. So this is our CRJ. This will be the table for CRJ. Just look at the top gray part. Okay, so these other parts are just used to explain to you what is what, so that you know. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this up a bit. Should I minimize it so that maybe we can see the complete table? Yes, let me minimize it again. Yes, so now we can see the entire table. It will be easy to explain. So we have cash receipt journal of Stacy Beauty Salon, and this is for April 2020, and we write CRJ4 because it's for month number 4, right? April. Okay, so please, the important part is this one, the gray part. Okay, all this what is in the bottom is just explanation. So we have number 1, at the top of the CRJ you will have the name of the business. Number 2, you have the month for which the cash receipt journal is completed, as well as the abbreviation and the month number. Here is the abbreviation number 2, and the month number. April is month number 4. Okay, if you don't have a month here but you see that here it's 7, you should know that it is July, for example. And number 3, here is number 3. Number 3 says doc. It is the source document. Okay, remember the source document can be the receipt, can be the cash register roll, and they say even an invoice. Okay, this is new to us. Even an invoice can be a source document. Number 4, it's the day on which the transaction occurred. Okay, so the day on which the transaction occurred. So if it occurred on the 15th of April, you will see 15 here. Okay, and number 5, the name of the person. Where is number 5? Details. The name of the person or the business from which the money was received. Where did we get this money from? Under details. Okay, number 6 is here. It says fall, used as a reference in the general ledger. Okay, we will see this as we do the example. Number 7, analysis of receipts. What have we get every day? So here you put the amount. Number 8, it says bank, money that is paid into the bank. Even here we put the money. And here is cash receipt every day. Here is money that is paid into the bank at the end of every day. And then number 9, it's for current income. Remember, current income is for services rendered. So services rendered, we put them here. Okay, and number 10, it's sundry account. If it's any money that is not in the table, we put it on the sundry account. Okay, and number 11 is details, name of the general ledger account involved. Okay, we will see this in detail as we continue. So now we know how the CRJ looks like and what goes in that table. Okay, now let's continue. We are going to look at the source documents used in the cash receipt journal. Although we've touched on them, the following source documents are used in the cash receipt journal. A receipt is issued when a business receives money, for example, capital from the owner, or money received from a tenant for rent, or also services rendered. Okay, and then we have a cash register roll, CRR. When a business uses cash register slip is issued to client for services rendered. So if a cash register slip is issued, you know that it is cash register roll, the document. Okay. And then we have a cash invoice. When a business is not issuing a cash register, a cash invoice is issued to clients for services rendered. So for services rendered, it can be a receipt, it can be a cash register slip, okay, and it can be a cash invoice, okay. So you know your document, if it's the cash invoice, your document, it's the invoice, your source document. And if the cash register slip is issued, it means your source document is the cash register roll. And if a what do you call it, a receipt is issued, then your source document is a receipt, okay. And we have deposit slip. A deposit slip A deposit slip is completed when the total received for the day is deposited into the business bank account. So if a business gets so much at the end of the day, we add that money and the total is deposited into the bank. Then we get a deposit slip. The bank keeps the original and the business receives the duplicate. And the last source document is the bank statement. A bank statement is a copy of a business transaction with the bank, which shows all the deposits and payments made during the month. It also shows the money the business has left after each transaction. Okay, so the bank statement, it shows all the deposits and payments made during the month. So whatever you've put in and what you have put out during the month is on the bank statement. So please also know the 5 source documents that are used in the receipt, cash receipt journal. So you need to know 5 source documents that are used in the CRJ. It is the receipt, it is the cash register roll, it is the cash invoice, it's the deposit slip, and it is the bank statement. And know their definition. Now, let's look at recording cash transactions in the cash receipt journal. How do we record them? This is very important. Let's look now. So, for example, we still have a new Alec Faber who starts a new business, which is Skin Beauty Salon, and opens a business account at the bank. The business will issue cash register slips for services rendered and use the transaction to complete the cash receipt journal. Remember, in lesson number 9, we were completing the accounting equation. We were completing the effects on the accounting equation. Now it's the same problem, but we are completing the cash receipt journal. So we still have the same transactions. So let's continue. They say, remember, the number indicates the day on which a transaction took place. So which means here the transaction took place in day number 1, day number 2, day number 3, and day number 4. When there are no cents indicate, or where there are no cents in the money, you must put a dash at the end, okay, instead of the comma 00. Okay, we've got that. Okay, now let's look at our, so this is the format. Our table will have these headings, right, for the cash receipt journal. Okay, and we have the document, right, for transaction number 1. Okay, so we start, we know this is the source document, and now our transactions are here. Okay, let me minimize this so that we get to see the transactions ish. Now I will have to minimize it again. I want us to see the transaction together with the, oh no, so we can't okay, let me make a plan. Okay, hello. So I have tried to make a plan that we see the transaction and the CRJ, the cash receipt journal, in one page. Okay, so as we have discussed, this is our title column for our CRJ. Okay, here we know it's the source document. Here is the day the transaction happened, and here the details is who did we get money from. And this one, now we don't have to worry about it until we do the general ledger, even that one. And the analysis of receipt, it's the money that goes, the money that we have received, right? We said that. Let me go to the textbook, and we ensure that what is the analysis of receipt. I just want to go to that example. Number 7, analysis of receipt is the cash receipt received every day. Okay, so yes, here it's the money that we've received, and here is the money that goes to the bank, and here is the current income, if there's any current income. Okay, all right, and the sundry account is the amount that we have received in the bank. Let's just double check the sundry account. Under the amount there, it's number 10. They say sundry amounts received. Okay, that is the money that we received, right? So now let's go. So we have transaction number 1. A Faber starts her business with 50,000 Rand capital. The bookkeeper issued a receipt. So the document is going to be receipt. But here we write even the receipt number. So it's a receipt number 1. You see it says R1. Okay. And the day of the month is day number 1 for transaction number 1. And who did we get the money from? A Faber. Okay, the owner of the business, right? And analysis of a receipt, right? We did not get this money as cash. Okay, this money went to the bank. So this is money that went to the bank. Okay, and it's not the current income, so we can't fill in here. And the amount that we got, it's 50,000 Rand. Please don't interpret this as negative. You see that a sign that you see, remember they said if there are no cents, we must put a dash at the end. Remember that? Okay. Transaction number 2, we receive money for services rendered according to the cash register roll. Okay, and the document, cash register roll, day number 2 for transaction number 2. This is for services rendered, but they didn't tell us for who. So it's fine. We just write services rendered, and we got the cash amount. Okay, and the bank also got 800 Rand, and it is the current income. So please see the difference in here. Services rendered, we have cash, but for capital, it is not the cash. Capital only goes to the bank and the amount on the sundry account. Now, number 3A, transaction number 3A is receipt number 2. You see that? Receipt number 2, and we have day number 3, and we have we got the money from MSCAC, and then it is cash. Okay, any income is cash. Okay, so it's cash, and and it does not go to the bank. Okay, rent does not go to the bank. Okay, and it's not a current income, and we only put it on the sundry amount. Okay, sundry account, and the details is the rent income there. And then we look at 3B. Now 3B will be on the next line. So this is 3A, this is 3B. Okay, so we have 3B here. Let's read services rendered for the day, 980. They did not tell us, so it is cash register roll. Okay, CRR Okay, it's still number 3. You can write a 3 if you want to, and then it's services rendered because there's no name of the person or the business, and this is the cash amount that we have received. And in this case, oh, I see what they've done with the rent. The rent, they've combined it with this one. But for ease sake, the rent, you can put it in the bank, and the 980 put it into the bank. Then you will have the a total amount correctly at the end of the day. But if you want to, you can add the 2 days 3A and 3B to the total amount. You see that? Okay, but for me, I would suggest that you do this. Let me do that for you. Let me do that. Let me put it in red so that you may be able to see. So for me, under the rent, I would put in the bank, I got a 5,000 rand, and I will put the dash at the end, as they say we must do it. Okay, and then here, instead of putting the total, sorry, instead of putting the total, I would put the oh, come on, I would put the 980 and I would put the dash. Okay, I hope you see this. So I won't combine this two amount. This will just be 980 and dash instead of summing this to the total. So rent still goes to the bank. Okay, and I will have, it's a current income. Let me escape on that one. It's a current income, yes, and the amount for 980, remember the income, let me see, 980, where is this 980? So the cash register roll, we don't put it on the amount, on the sundry amount, you see. So we won't put the services rendered because current income is here, so we don't put it here. Okay, so there is no capital here, so we put it on the sundry account, and there is no rent here in this column, so we put it on the sundry account. But the current income, it's here, we put it here, and we put it here, and we don't put it again on the sundry account. I hope you understand this, but we will see it as we do the example. And then we go to transaction number 4, the capital. The owner increases her capital by 10,000. Okay, and there is receipt number 3. So document receipt number 3. Day of the month is 4. Where do we get the money from? A fiber, and it is sorry, the amount that goes to the bank is 10,000 rand. Remember, capital does not go to the analysis of receipt. It is 10,000 rand, and because there is no capital here, we will put it on the sundry account and we write a capital. Okay, and now we add to the bank column, we get the amount, right, and we get the current income, and we get the sundry accounts total. And if we add this two, we must always get on the other side. So please check that if you add 1,780 plus 65,000, you should get 66,780. Okay, so that is how we complete our cash receipt journal. That is how we complete our cash receipt journal. Okay, so I hope you understood how we do it, but I will do it for the second time so that we are all clear. How do we do this? Is that okay with everyone? Okay, if that is okay, I will do it again. So I want to oh no, I wanted to take this out completely. Doesn't give me that option. It's fine, let me leave it, but I want to go through this again and just explain to you. So let's start. These are our columns, right? And the headings here that must go into the CRJ. So number one, a Faber starts a business with 50,000 capital, okay, and gets a receipt. We know for capital we get a receipt, so it's receipt number one, and it is in day number one, and the business get money from a Faber, okay. And we said capital does not go into analysis of bank receipts, so it goes to the bank, and because we don't have capital here, right, we will put it in the sundry account as well. Whatever we don't have here, type of income, if we don't have it at the top, then we put it on sundry accounts. And then we come to a transaction number two. We receive money for services rendered according to cash register roll. It's 800 rand. So it's CRR, the document. Day number two for transaction number two, it's for service rendered. It doesn't matter if you don't have a name of the company of the person, you just put it services rendered, okay. And then analysis of receipt, we put it here, right, and we also put it in the bank, and it is the current income, we put it in this column because we have current income here at the top, so we can put on the sundry account. Sundry account, you put the type of income that you don't have here at the top. And then we have a now transaction number 3a, we issue a receipt number 2 to MSky for rent received in April. That's 5,000. Receipt number 2, transaction number 3, we got the money from MSky, and analysis of receipt is 5,000, and 5,000 rand go into the bank. You write it, I said to make your life easier, you write the 5,000. And because this is not current income, but it is rent income, so we don't write it here. This column is only for current income, so we don't write it here. We can only write it in the sundry account, and on the details we put it is rental income. And then we go to 3b, services rendered for the day, 980. If there's no receipt, is cash register roll. Okay, so this is 3b, cash register roll, services rendered, analysis of receipt, 980. 980 goes to the bank. It is a current income, okay. So because we have current income here, we don't put it on the sundry accounts, okay, on this amount. And we write here, we don't write current income because it is written here already. Okay, we only write here if we have put anything under this block of sundry accounts. And transaction number 4, the owner increases her capital by 10,000 rand. So receipt number 3 is issued, R3, receipt 3. Transaction number 4, we got the money from a Fiber, okay, and analysis of report, capital doesn't get here, and we have 10,000 rand in the bank, and it is not current income, so we don't put it here. We put it on the sundry account and we label it as capital, okay. And once we are done with all our transaction, we add the bank, we add the current income, and we add the sundry accounts. But if you check, when you add these two, you must always get the answer that is equal to this one. So if I add 1,780 plus 65,000 rand, I must get 66,780. Okay, so I've explained it for the second time. I hope you understand. Remember, this dash is minus, is not minus. It just indicates that there are no cents in the amount. Okay. And these are just the notes at the bottom. And yeah, no, I think once we have covered the example, you can go through these notes on your own. Let's go back now to the textbook. So we have covered the example that they gave us. We had to put it there so that it can be in one page. Okay, so we have passed page 77. So now we have the activity 10.1, and they gave us the transaction. This is the same activity as the one that they gave us in lesson number 9. But lesson number 9, remember, we were completing the accounting equation. So now we are completing the cash receipt journal. And remember, I said if with the capital you have from to, you must take this one and subtract that one, and the difference that you get is what you put in. So I will just take you, for example, transaction number 2. So transaction number 2, T30 increased the capital contribution from 80,000 to 120,000 by depositing the money directly into the bank account and the receipt. So on the document, I will have R25. Day, it will be day number 2. Okay, day number 2. And details, the money is from T30. Okay, fall for now, we don't fill it in. And if it's capital, it does not go here. It goes straight to the bank account. It will be 40,000 here. Okay, and at the end, it will have a dash to show that it is 00. How do I get 40,000? 120,000 minus 80,000. 40,000 here, and it is not current income. Okay, therefore we're gonna put it under sundry amount. It is going to be 40,000 again, and here we don't put anything, and details we say capital. Okay, so I've helped you with the first transaction, so you can do the other transactions. So let's look what we have on the next pages. So you do that activity 10.1. You do activity 10.2. Everything we know. And use transaction of Chewy CC. Where is Chewy CC? Is that one? No. So they say that activity 10.3, use the transaction of Chewy CC to complete the cash receipt journal for August 2020. Okay, August, you see it says 8. Where is Chewy CC? So Chewy CC is on page 73. Okay, you see this activity, they say use transaction of Chewy CC. So you go back to page 73. Page 73. You see at the, am I right, at the bottom, it should be the bottom of page, yes, you see CC. So you're gonna use this transaction to complete your cash register roll. Okay, that is on page 79, exercise activity 10.2. okay, so you do 10.2, you do 10.3, they use Chewy CC again, and you do 10.4. okay, that should be, and you do 10.5. I've given you the worksheets, so it shouldn't be a problem to complete. Okay, so you should be covered all the way up to page 81. Okay, but you do each and every activity and you give me the activity to check, because I don't want you to continue and do the wrong thing in all the activities. So you give me 10.1, I checked, that is the only time you can proceed to 10.2. okay, and I mark 10.2, you continue to 10.3. You don't do all the activities and give me the answer. Please don't do that. Okay? All right. So please do all your exercises up to 10 point activity 10.5. And that will bring us to the end of financial literacy in term number 2. Please, if you are stuck, ask for clarity. Okay. Thank you.